This year at the 2025 Nats, I saw more of the Menanno electronic timers than at the previous Nats I was at in 2023. In this video, I want to give some of my observations and what I have found from using the timer over the past several years. This year, I noticed Rocco was using the Menanno timer, Tom Stalick, and there was another gentleman that had this 40 size plane. I flew several planes with the timer, although the pay hopper doing the ROG, it's not too convenient for starting the timer. Most people are still using mechanical timers, and I guess if you're flying on a large field, that probably works okay. My start in outdoor free flight contest planes was with E36, so I started with electronic timer right away. There is a Menanno E36 timer which I used in one plane, but in some planes it's really too tight a fit. I am using the BMK E36 timer in all my E36 planes. Most of my flying is done in some pretty small fields, so the RDT is nice. I wish I would have had RDT. This was my first flight of my Witch Hawk, which flew through a golf cart. With the original timer, if you use the RDT to stop the engine, the DT popped like a second later, which if the wing wasn't strong, you could break it like in this plane. Now there is a gas timer available, which uses the first press to stop the engine, and then you have a second press where you can pop the DT. It's only slightly heavier, and the whole unit is really pretty light. I've found with the gas timer that I couldn't run the GPS off of the same 1S battery. You can use a real small 1S battery to power the GPS, and then you don't have a possibility of failure of both of them. The only trouble I have had is with the small connectors and the wire connections. You have to be really careful handling this. Now you have this plate glued to the fuselage, and you want to be very careful putting this in and taking it out. Another thing, you press for 1.5 seconds or greater, and then again 1.5 or a little more. Now I'm thinking this is probably set up this way because this timer was designed for E36, and you don't want to accidentally bump the motor and get it started when you're not ready. On the E20, you just press it for like 2 seconds, and when you let go, the motor starts instantly. No doubt the E20 is not as dangerous to get your finger in. The timer has multi-function mode, and that's what's used to control the functions for gas models. If you would happen to get your timer in the E36 mode, it wouldn't function properly for a glow model. You would think electronic it would turn off exactly when specified, and maybe it does, but my engine run times varied a little bit when someone was timing them. My bounty hunter was right at 9 seconds one time, and another flight it was at 8.1. So I think it's something about how the engine shuts off. In the 2023 Simpo, there's an article about the timer by Alphonse Menanno, and also I wrote an article in the Simpo. For my situation, this is what works best.